Hi everyone, I want to give you some tips on how to speed up your farming and progression when you're in the endgame in Diablo 4. So one of the main endgame activities right now are nightmare dungeons. They recently buffed them massively, so this is what you farm basically for the most part on your way to level 100. Now, while it's obviously important to play a good build and all, you also want to make sure that you don't waste your time between runs. So one tip I can give you is you should use the Tree of Whispers between every single run. So you can see this here right now. After a nightmare dungeon, I open the map and I TP to the Tree of Whispers. This is a really nice little town area, so to say. It has a vendor, it has a blacksmith, and it has a stash. So you have basically everything you need for just sorting out your loot between the runs and then going to the next one. So when you come out of your portal, there's the waypoint, and here's the vendor right there. Good thing is, this is also a jewelry vendor, which is the best vendor because you can actually occasionally check for some good items here. Sometimes I actually bought some really nice amulets, for example, or some rings. And then you have the blacksmith here in case you need some materials. You can also salvage stuff here. And then there's the stash. So this is already a really nice layout to just get your stuff sorted out, and then you can go straight into the next dungeon. And especially when you have nightmare sigils, you can just directly activate a new one. And then you can click on the map and then TP there. So this was the recent change. You don't have to travel to the nightmare dungeons anymore. Good thing is, if you have a copy of a sigil that you have just run, you can just go back into the portal. You don't actually have to TP in front of it and then go through the door again and then have two loading screens. You can just go straight to the portal when you run the same dungeon in a row. So like this, you have everything that you usually need right here, and you don't need to go through two loading screens sometimes. Now, occasionally, of course, you want to use your vendors. And I found that the best town to do that is Serigar. So if you have to go to the occultist or maybe add a socket and upgrade your jewelry and these kind of things, then I think that this has the best layout because everything is relatively close together besides the stash up there and the Purveyor of Curiosities down here. But you don't really visit the gambling guy too much anyway. And you see here, everything's right next to each other. So you just walk a few seconds here and then you have the occultist. Can sort out your sigils or enchant something or whatever. Of course, if it's not all about the maximum efficiency, then you can go wherever you want. For example, my favorite is actually Kadbadu, and I do go there sometimes just because I like the atmosphere. And lastly, one thing about how to sort out your loot. So you might know already that salvaging items is not really all that relevant later on anymore because you just have so many materials. In particular, the rawhide and the superior leather, you just find tons of that, just some monsters basically. The iron and silver ores in particular, not too much, but yeah, if you salvage some items and here and there click on ore vein, they do come in, but you may want to salvage weapons and jewelry a little bit more than armor pieces, just to get some silver ore that you can use for upgrading. But once you have enough of this, then you just basically always sell everything. And the way to sell it is that you can mark them as junk. So there is a button here, you can see this on the bottom of the tooltip. If you press space, it says mark as junk. And then you have this slash through the icon. And this means that if you go to a vendor now and you right click on an item, it will sell all of your marked as junk items together in one click. Although beware, this also sells, for example, marked sigils together. So if you sell an item and you have marked as junk sigils, they will also be sold. You definitely don't want to do that. So make sure that you only mark sigils as junk when you're just about to salvage them right after. But yeah, this is another tip I can give you. And the good thing is that you can actually use this downtime in dungeons to just go through your inventory real quick and mark items as junk. So that's what I do. For example, here in Earth and Wound, you have this little delay before the glyph stone activates and you can upgrade your glyph. And here you can just open your inventory and then, do 1, 2, 3 items or something, just mark them like this and maybe sort out something that you want to keep. And you just speed up your town rotation even more like that. And like this, I TP the town and I usually don't really have to wait that long to get back into the next run. And that's it for this quick tips video already. Hope you enjoyed this. I wish you good luck and see you guys next time.